Welcome. I'm Jonathan Armagum and I'm sitting with Taariq Ganga, a goalkeeper that currently plays for Ubuntu Football Academy. And we are here at Y Goals in Strandfontein on the Cape Flats. I'm really excited that we're at this location because Taariq is from the Cape Flats, and I think Strandfontein, including Mitchell's Plain, is home for him. So, Taariq, maybe just tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Taariq Ganga from Portland's Mitchell's Plain. I attended Montague Drive Primary School. Um, I my journey began at 9 years old when I started playing at Mr. Price Football Academy, and I would say my soccer journey kind of took flight when I joined Ubuntu Football Academy. I attended Silvermine Academy, which is based in Fishhoek, and I matriculated in 2017, and straight after that, I was part of Ubuntu Cape Town's professional team in Cape Town, and I'm currently where I'm at, on my way to the US.
So, yeah, before we talk about the US, before we get into this amazing opportunity that you've received to study at Peninsula College in Washington, I just want to track your journey because it is an amazing story. I think your story is an amazing story from where you started to where you find yourself now. Can you describe the community and the area? We know, obviously, we love where we come from. We're not going to deny that. But can you describe some of the struggles or the battles, or just describe the community?
So I come from Mitchell's Plain, Portland. I would say Mitchell's Plain or the Cape Flats began in 1976 when many colored people and many other people from different races were kicked out of their homes. And I kind of would say that is when the Cape Flats was born. I am part of a lovely community, very quiet. And also there are just many factors involved that just makes the Cape Flats, we have many talented soccer players, and all of those things. And on the other side, we have drugs, violence, and just gangsterism, and it's just many negative factors that kind of shows us what Cape Town is all about, what Cape Flats is all about.
So I think you mentioned something so crucial. Group Areas Act, they moved our parents to Cape Flats, Manenberg, Mitchell's Plain, Strandfontein. We came to Pelican Park. We wouldn't really move there, but that's a traumatic experience. I think it's a traumatic experience. So a lot of people won't understand the fact that you're sitting here now. What a major achievement! You're on the threshold of something amazing. A lot of people won't understand getting from there to here. You mentioned there's gangsterism, there's the temptation to do drugs. The community that we find ourselves in is not a community. Although I absolutely agree, I wouldn't change my life, and I don't think you'll change where you are for anything in the world. But the community. It's not geared to pave a way of success for us. There's not a lot of support. There's not a lot of programs. Not a lot of people coming alongside you. How did you make it through? I hate using that word "make it," but how did you get to where you are right now?
I would say everything began in 2013 when I joined American Lead Initiative team that's called Ubuntu Football Academy. I was the academy is based about 45 minutes away from my house, and I would say that the environment completely changed the way I viewed life. I wasn't with my friends, and I had an amazing support system because they help you with your football, they help you with your education, and I was privileged enough to get a full scholarship for my high school career. And I think um, that there are many factors that influence a player, and as for me as a person. And um, I think by the grace of God, I managed to change the way I view things. I think I started thinking ahead of myself and certain other people that I came across. And I'd definitely say it was the drive that I had in myself. I think for me personally, I knew that I could achieve something if I just, put my mind to it and, just strive to get there, even though there are so many temptations that affects a person.
So, you speak about drive. I think that's one of your biggest strengths. Do you think that drive has helped you overcome any challenges and help you stay on the path that you need to be on?
I think the mentality of having a growth mindset doesn't just happen. It,
Absolutely.
it takes time. I think for me, my growth began when I would say in 2016. That was when I joined the national team. And I didn't make it. Um, but at the same time, I was happy to be a part of the team. Yeah, it was after my national team experience that something hit me, and that was when I changed my mindset. The following year, I competed in an under 19 tournament as a 16-year-old, and I won goalkeeper of the tournament. So I think that was a major stepping stone for me to, like, that gave me clarity to know that if I put my mind to it, if I give it my all, have the proper support system, you can achieve anything.
So you mentioned something very interesting. You had a failure, but would you say that that failure didn't define who you are? The failure of not being chosen or selected for your first year as getting your first national cap, under 17 national cap.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I think, from what I can remember, I think we went the Tuesday, and we got back the Thursday, and that weekend, the Friday, was engine tournament. So I I was like highly disappointed because I wasn't sure how to change my mindset and like just to focus on the tournament ahead. Like I didn't have anyone to talk
Mm,
because I'm a 16-year-old.
mm.
You're not really sure how to
Articulate what you're
articulate
feeling.
and just to get your mind around everything, to put that one side and to focus
Mm,
on the weekend ahead.
mm.
And I had a disappointing tournament, so yeah, it was. I think that kind of defines like everything.
How did you come back after that tournament? Stronger or?
Um, I, I, I definitely took some time to kind of recover. I think many footballers go through trials
Mm,
and tribulations that they they get faced with
mm,
something negative, and
mm,
they it takes time,
mm,
and if you don't have a proper people to
mm,
communicate to support
mm.
it's going to be tough.
So that's something I know I struggled with my first 7 years as a professional footballer. Why I think I did it. I wasn't as successful as I could have been because I couldn't handle the disappointments, and at the same time I couldn't handle the success. And you raised something interesting, that having the right people around you is so important. So I know your brother played professional football. You have a very loving family. I know at the moment there's the Skippers family is in your life. Ubuntu is supporting you. We're walking a road together. How vital is it having a strong support system around you, and not just a strong support system, but people around you that don't necessarily want anything from you? They're just there to help you. How important is that?
It's I think for me, it's super important just to have that, that people that you can count on, that you can talk to, about anything, And I think as a footballer, you get faced with so many things. Like people don't really understand
Mm,
how that affects a person. You get faced with not playing, like being out of the squad completely, and just having that people to talk to kind of relieve or to release negative energies.
mm,
It's something that's super important, because if you're not going to have people that's trying to make you grow as a person, trying to like install values in you, you're going to develop a mindset where if someone does something wrong, you need to be, it's okay to do that, and I think it's super important. Yeah.
So there were a lot of battles that you faced to get here. I said, um, I like to think I would tell the guys that are the boys that I teach that as people of color, because we've lacked so many opportunities, we're very determined to be seen. We're very determined to make it out there. We're very determined to make a success out of life. And sometimes that comes at the expense of character. I know we've had this conversation where you sometimes can jump from one place to the other. What would you say with regards to that? Because I know they were um, on this journey to get here. You were trying to find where you fit in. And then we had this conversation about stability. How did that help you?
I think um, I'd say for the last 2 years, I've been playing outside of Cape Town, played in Cape Town, and that's because of uncertainties. I think as a footballer, you face uncertainties. You're not sure if you're gonna get a club or if you're gonna get paid,
Of
or
course.
and I think for the past 2 years, I was trying to find my purpose. As a not just as a footballer, but as a person as well.
Absolutely.
I was I I traveled a bit as well.
Yeah.
So now that I have this opportunity, you know it provides me major stability because it gives me something that I can work towards now. It gives me that so the goal's out there. So what am I doing now in order to reach that goal? And I think for many people like on the Cape Flats, it's tough because
Of course.
your friends are probably not doing things that they should be doing, and you soon get drawn
Of
into that,
course.
and the world is so much bigger than what we think. So I
Of
think
course.
if you have the proper people, you're asking the proper questions, you're
Mm.
experiencing things, I think you'd be goal driven.
So asking the proper questions is so vital because I know from our conversations education wasn't a priority, and I think that was okay also because like you
Yeah.
say, we're trying to find our place in the world. All you knew was football. You didn't realize that education could also provide a pathway to success. Are you realizing that now by this opportunity that you're getting where education is combined with your football?
Yeah. I think so. I always told myself, once I finish school, I don't want to study after that. I
Yeah,
think that was everyone's
of
mentality.
course.
And I think so. I matriculated in 2017. Went straight into professional setup, and I think being part of that professional setup, it kind of opened my eyes to saying, like, what's going to happen to me if I don't make it as a footballer? What's going to happen to me if, something happens? And because unfortunately, football's a game like that. 1 minute you up there and the next minute you down there. So it was only this year where I finally started reaching out to my friends that stays in America as well, trying to connect with them, just asking them about the experiences and also just talking to the proper people as well. So I think it was only this year that I felt that education is something that I need to do because it will at the end of the day not only help me as a footballer but to grow beyond.
So not a lot of people know this, but I talk about your drive a lot. When I'm having conversations with other people, I talk about your drive and how you've really, yes, you've had support around you, but you've really made this your story. You've really forged the pathway, reaching out to people that you've put yourself out there, and that is scary. What would you say to young people that's coming, that's following you? And there are young people that's following you. I've mentioned the news to the learners that I teach, and they were so excited. Some of them look up to you as the hero. What would you speak into that? Like, you are literally a mentor and you leading the way. And there's some guys in class that wouldn't be thinking of studying, but now it's on their radar. What would you speak into how you are mentoring them, maybe?
I think what I would tell kids that I've been with and that are currently in my lives, I would tell them that everything takes time. Um, I think it's important for you to find your purpose, not just as a footballer, but to discover new things. Just just to put yourself out there, man, because that's the same thing that I did. I contacted people that I did not know, and just me putting myself out there was already, something that was leading towards something good. And I'll tell them just to enjoy the journey.
Mm,
I think many times we forget why we're doing this, and
mm,
that's just not
mm,
as footballers, but I think it's for many people. We
mm,
kind of forget why we actually doing this and
mm,
the opportunity. So
mm,
I think it's important for
mm,
the organization with that I was with, Ubuntu Football Academy. I really want the boys to take advantage of the teachers that they're with, to ask
mm,
questions, whether it's about anything, not
mm,
football related, anything.
mm,
And because at the end of the day, you are given resources. So what are you gonna do with it?
mm. I've been thinking about that this morning. I thought about that this morning actually. My first 7 years as a pro, I think I forgot why I was doing what I was doing, and I lost my passion, I lost my joy, I lost so many other things, and I realized that no matter what we do, there's got to be a broader purpose. It can't just be about me and
Yeah.
me being seen and me making it and me being the best. There has to be a broader people, where broader purpose. We have to take people with us. And I know you won't admit this easily, but there's learners, there's boys that I've been talking to about you, and let's say Taariq is my hero. I asked one boy, how do you feel about Taariq making it? He said, I'm so encouraged because Taariq always seemed like he was on the outskirts and now he's finding success. This boy is also on the outskirts and he's finding success. So I believe you're a beacon of hope and you're a beacon of light to people. So I want to encourage you to continue to mentor even when you go over. Make sure you're giving back here. You're creating pathways for success of the next generation within South Africa. Maybe one last thing before you end off. You said we've spoken about trust. How important is finding the right people you can trust and trusting those people in the decision making process?
I think everything boils down to just being open
Mm.
to people, because a lot of times we tend to talk to people but we don't really trust,
Connect, yeah. Mm.
yeah, and connect,
Mm.
and try to just find a
Mm.
relationship.
Mm.
And I think for me, I'm privileged enough to have people like you, the Ubuntu Football Academy, and also like family and the skipper's family, of course.
Mm.
And yeah, I think I have a good solid foundation of people that I can really talk to when
Mm.
I need to, and just to kind of find my own
Mm.
grounds as a person. And yeah, I think it's super
And,
important.
and that's we sometimes view relationships as a transaction. When I say transaction, what can I get from you and what can you get from me? And I think why I was blessed by our relationship wasn't like that. It was just about connecting,
Mm,
and through my connection, we were able to connect with amazing cameramen and people that brought their amazing resources
yeah.
to something like this. So. Valuing relationships and connection is important without it having to be a transaction, just a pure
Yes.
relationship. What would you want to say, maybe end off or make appeal, because I know there's still finances that you need, that you require.
Yeah.
There's still support that you need.
I would like to thank everyone that's been here today. And I think I really need the people support. I really need people to donate to me, because you wouldn't just be investing in someone. I think you'd be investing in someone that's really trying to make a difference
Mm,
in this community, and
mm,
not just in this community in South Africa.
mm,
And yeah, I really need people to donate and just to help me get where I want to, because I really need the help. And also one last thing, I think um, many countries are going through a tough time right now. We have South Africa is going through the gender-based violence. We have America that's doing the BLM movement. And I really want to encourage people just to support each other,
mm,
and just to spread love and positivity, because I think that's what everyone's kind of missing right now.
Yeah.
And we are so focused on everything of the bad, and I really want to encourage people just to, try and unite, be unified, and just to spread love. And yeah, that's.
I'm 39 years old. Taariq is 20. 20. It's a 19-year difference, but I learned so much from him. He's really making such a big difference in my life, and he inspires me in so many ways. Like I said, he's writing his own story. He started back a buddy page, already collected about 40,000 rand. He's reached out to people in the States, found a host family, and we are so grateful for that host family that they don't know him from anywhere. They did a Skype interview with him, but they're offering their home, and we are so grateful to that. For that, we've had so many people come on board this campaign and initiative to support and help, and we are really thankful. I know Taariq is really grateful for that, but there's still a long way to go. He still needs about between 120,000 and 140,000 for tuition, for books, and there's a whole list that we can put out there. I want to appeal to you to support this young man. Although it does seem, I know we all are going through a difficult time. Everybody's going through a very difficult period, and I understand that fully. So I don't ask this cautious, or I don't ask this flippantly, but I know this can make such a big difference, not just in his life, but in many other lives. I think the socio-economic and the social impact that sending Taariq over is going to make is something that we're going to see in the future, and I think that's what investment is really about. You don't see the results now, you don't see the fruit now, but we will see it, because I know the character of this young man. So I want to appeal to you to support. If you can support in the smallest way possible, we would appreciate it. 30 rand. If we get 2,000 people that contribute 30 rand, that would be a big chunk that's taken off, or big chunk that's taken off the burden of raising this money. So once again, I do want to thank you for your support. We will put details below on where you can support, the link that you can support to, get in contact with Taariq, get in contact with me, and yeah, I'm very hopeful that this man's dream is going to become a reality. Thank you.